It's so good, you guys. It's so good. Look at that. Look at the juiciness, but it's not over the top. It's not too shiny. Hi you guys, welcome back to the Clean Beauty Code. I'm so excited for this video because we did this makeup look in this video, and this is my kind of current everyday makeup routine. And everyday in the sense of it's not necessarily just like me curling my lashes and putting a little concealer on. It is my everyday makeup look where I can go from day to night if I have to go from work to go happy hour or whatever it is. I do feel like this look is really versatile and there's ways to kind of zhuzh it up, and I don't know, this is my go-to look. These are my go-to favorite products right now. They are my obsessions and I just love it. What do you guys think? The skin is skinning. Hate that. Hate that I said that, but the skin really does look like skin. It doesn't really look like I'm wearing heavy makeup. When I get close to the mirror, it looks like I'm looking at a magnifying mirror. I'm not terrified. I'm not feeling like I look cakey. It looks like it lasts all day. It looks beautiful throughout the day. I feel beautiful throughout the day wearing it. And by the end of the day, I'm still feeling good and my skin is comfortable. I don't know. I love this makeup look and it feels basic, but I swear it's not. And there's some really good products in this. So I just want to jump into this video and get started. So if you're excited for this video and more videos like this, then please like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into my current makeup routine. All right, my everyday makeup look, let's get into it. So first I like to do brows. Now I'm kind of picking between one of three products, which I know is annoying, but it depends on occasion. And I feel like context is important with that. First, the Rose Inc Brow Gel. I love this. This is a more pomade-y style brow gel. I really enjoy the hold, the way that my brows look all day. Very, very natural looking. The next one is from LYS Beauty, which I love this. And my brows do not move. Wind tunnel, hurricane. It doesn't matter what it is, okay? It ain't moving. My brows ain't moving with this, and I like this even though it is more of a texture I don't love, which is a more true gel style. I really like the way that this wears throughout the day and my brows look throughout the day. They do look a little bit more jelly than this one, but I really like both of these. And then if I want something that kind of has the in-between of these two, I go with this soap brow product. Oh, can it focus, please? From the brand Tude. I guess it's not gonna let it focus. I don't know what is going on, but this is from the brand Tude and this is their soap brow product. I will get a spoolie with a spoolie, just get a little bit and put it in my brows, and my brows have a hold somewhere between these two, but also a look somewhere between these two, but more leaning towards the Rose Inc one. Today I think I'm gonna go with the Rose Inc one just because I feel like that's my most grabbed of all of them right now. And historically, I've had the Rose Inc one the longest. However, even with having all of them, even though last month I was grabbing the LYS Beauty one the most, this is just my kind of safety net, my favorite of all of them. All right, brows are gelled. They're held in place. Now we're gonna move on to brow pencil. Now, there's a ton of great brow pencils out there. My favorite is the Westman Atelier one. I love this. And my last one, this is a newer one. My last one lasted me over a year because it has so much product in it, and so a little bit of this goes a long way, and it's just constant. Like if I think it lasted me 14 months, and if I wasn't testing other products, it probably would have lasted me about a full year maybe. I would say this is really good. I love this, and it has a little spoolie at the end, and this is not a super thin pencil, so this might not be for everyone, but my brows love this, and it lasts so long. It has the perfect waxy consistency for what I like on my brows, so it really doesn't move. Anyways, I'm gonna fill in my brows with this pencil. I got a scar here that I'm gonna try and fill in, but that never ends up going well with anything. I feel like the scar is just there to stay. All right, brows are as good as it's gonna get until I get my brows done, because mama's brows look crazy. So next we're gonna move on, and generally for every day I go skin tint. I don't really go foundation. If I am gonna go foundation, I go very light. But for a skin tint, the ones that I have been grabbing nonstop are the Tower 28 one. I love this SPF Just so good. I have 2 shades of this. It kind of depends on my undertone. This one is Runyon, I believe. No, this is Silver Lake, and then I also have the shade Runyon. Then the Westman Atelier. If my skin is in really need of super hydration, this is the one I'll go with. Or a newer one, which is from the brand CL, and this one my skin really enjoys as well. And if I'm looking for something that is the in-between of, it's like more of a natural dewy as opposed to a true dewy, where I feel like this is a little bit more dewy than this one. If I'm looking for something less dewy, I will go with the CL, and this one is an SPF of 50. And also if I want something with SPF, I go with this one. I've been trying and testing this out since this came out. I think a video reviewing this has come out before this video, but this is really nice and I really enjoy it. I think today I'm going to go on with one I haven't used on camera in a while, the Tower 28. I'm going to do a little dab on the back of my hand, not a ton, just enough, and then we're going to blend it out with this. So I have it on the back of my hand here, I don't know if you can see, and I'm going to mix it with this brush. This is an Hourglass brush, but any fluffy brush really will do. But I have found I love the way that the Hourglass brushes, well, okay, I have to make sure it's not running too much. The Hourglass brushes really blend out foundation, but also the Heavenly Luxe number 7 would be great for this as well. So I'm going to take this and really get the product in like this, and then I'm going to blend. Now I have prepped my skin with face cream and all of that, so whatever your normal face prep is, do that. Ugh, I just love the way that technique of applying skin tints, foundations, whatever it is, makes my skin look from far away and close up. Like I don't feel like I look like I'm wearing a lot of makeup, but I am wearing makeup. I don't know. It's just so good. So then next we're going to move concealer. So I have been grabbing one concealer for like all over my face, and that is the Merit Beauty. Now I don't have a lot of, right now we're having a breakout in the middle here, and she needs to calm down. It's real rude. But I love the Merit Beauty foundation concealer stick, and this is the shade Buff, I believe. Yes, the shade Buff, and I'm going to take a little bit, and I have a little mark here, and I'm going to just take and apply it just to that spot and let it sit for a second before I blend it out. And that just, for me, is the best way to kind of conceal stuff, because I don't like to apply too much foundation or anything in the between my eyes or nose area, but if I kind of pinpoint, that's kind of my preference. So next, under eye concealer. I've been grabbing one of 3. A ton, and it depends on my needs. So one, if I don't want anything to crease ever in the history of the earth. This one from Iris and Romeo. This concealer literally doesn't move at all, and I know that sounds dramatic. I'm not lying. I have 2 shades. I have the shade 7, I believe, and the shade 5. And 5 is definitely very light. However, when I mix them together, it's the perfect brightness under my eyes for me. But also 7 alone is perfect. I've done 5 alone, but depending on what my makeup is, sometimes it's a little bit too bright alone. Sometimes I'll do 7 first, then just right here where I have the most darkness that peeks through, I'll go with the shade 5. Then my handy dandy love of life, the Cool Feet Concealer. I love this. I've talked about this 1,000 times. And then the Live Tinted Concealer I have been loving as well. I'm going to do the Live Tinted today. And I have been loving this concealer. It's just so good. And at first I thought, this is the shade 16, I believe, or 15. 16. I at first thought this was going to be way too bright for me. It is like the perfect shade of concealer for me. I just love it. And this one also, I don't find creases on me. If I had to pick between the two in terms of absolutely no creasing, I would go the Iris and Romeo. The Live Tinted still doesn't crease, but the Iris and Romeo like grips on, just doesn't move. The Live Tinted also grips, but it's just different. I'm gonna blend out with a beauty sponge, and this is a little bit dry, or not dry, but it does need a little bit of something. So I'm gonna spray my sponge with a little bit of setting spray, and that's the LYS Beauty setting spray. Just kind of mush it in and blend. Next, we're going to go on with bronzer. Now, I have been loving this bronzer, and it's like the perfect tone for me. And I used to use it all the time and then started testing other things. And now I'm back on it. The Rose Ink bronzer in the shade Seychelles. This is just like the most gorgeous cream bronzer ever. And I'm going to do a little swatchy poo on the back of my hand for you so you can see. Because it is just so good. Hold on. Look at that. Look at that. It has the perfect neutralness to still be a contour, in my opinion. We're not going to contour just yet, but we are going to eventually. And I like to take this brush here. This is the Heavenly Luxe number 7 from IT Cosmetics, and dip in. And this is like the perfect bronzer because it dissipates in the best way and it doesn't cake on to any dryness or anything. And coming into winter, that could happen because it gets real dry out there, especially in the Northeast where it is just so dry at times. And this is just like such a good bronzer. It melts into the skin. It looks like a good bronzer, but especially for it not being summer where you can kind of get away with a little bit more warm tone, more orangey in tone. And I'm not saying like true Oompa Loompa, but just a little bit warmer in tone bronzers. This is a really good one because I think their entire collection in general, their bronzer colors in general are more on that you can wear year-round shade, whereas sometimes bronzers can be a little bit too warm and it can be real obvious when you're pale. So we're just going to blend. Then I'm going to take whatever's left on the back of my hand, which is not very much. Take this brush from Patrick Ta, which is a nose contour brush, and just take whatever's left and apply it down the sides of my nose because I like to pull bronzer down my nose for kind of cohesion without it being too intense and be like a true contour, because I definitely am not someone that is good at contouring in the slightest, but this brush is definitely dummy proof. So if you feel like you don't know how to do contour, this might be worth checking out. So then this side I like to blend with, and it is such a good blend, you guys. It's so good, you guys, so good. So then next I'm going to just take this beauty sponge that has a little leftover concealer on and just go over my eyelid. And that just kind of neutralizes my eyelid because I do have some pigment on my eyelid, which I don't mind, but it just kind of neutralizes everything. So then next what we're going to do is we're going to go on with a blush. Now, I have kind of been really gravitating right now towards stick blushes, and I have so many that are so good. I only grabbed 2 today, but I have a ton that I have just been loving. One is from Victoria Beckham Beauty, and this is the shade Playground. I also recently got the shade Mini Skirt, which I have been loving. And then this one from Ami Collet, which is in the shade Dune, I believe. Dune. Font is so small, you guys, and I have pretty good vision, and sometimes font is like, who can read this? But this is in the shade Dune. I think I'm going to do this one today because I'm just loving this specific type of shade, and I'm going to put it on the back of my hand. Look how beautiful that is. This would be so beautiful on so many complexions. I love the Ami Collet multi-sticks. They're just so good, and the shade Dune is just... she is everything. And we're going to take this brush, which I have been loving. I also still love my Sephora 93 slanted brush, but this one I've been loving because my face is really small. And sometimes this is how I can avoid over applying blush because I do that daily. And we're just going to apply and kind of in little circles. I've been finding I like that technique a lot. Just love that blush shade, you guys. It's just so good. So then next what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go on with these products here from Westman Atelier. It's their illuminator drops. Sometimes I will do a little bit of this underneath my skin tint if I want. Sometimes I won't. Sometimes I'll just use it on the high points of my cheek. There's so many things you can use this for. I'm going to use this on the high points of my cheek today because I have been loving that. But I really enjoy this as kind of an all over the face moment as well. It just really depends on the day. But this is like a staple for me. This is specifically this Westman Atelier product I will repurchase for the rest of my life. So I'm gonna apply just to the high points of my cheek. And I'll probably apply more a little bit later, but just a little bit. And then down the center of my nose and just at the tip. Oh, it's just so good, you guys. Look at that. And it doesn't lift up the product underneath. I'm going to say it again. It doesn't lift up the product underneath. I don't know. I've been loving this. Again, I will mix this with any of the products that I've already applied, like any of the complexion products I've already applied. I will apply this before. I will also sometimes apply afterwards on the high points of my cheeks, or just on the high points of my cheeks before complexion products, or when I'm not wearing any skin tint at all. This is by far the love of my life. Now we're gonna move on to the eyes. Eyes are really, really simple. It's a bronzer usually, and then sometimes an eyeliner, depending. Today we have this bronzer that we applied, so we're gonna go on with this. Now, what I like to do is just apply it with my fingers all over my lid. I really like the shade. It just is so good, and it blends so nicely, so it doesn't feel like it's a lot of product because it just blends away in the best way. So then I'm going to take a little bit of that same bronzer and I'm going to apply it on my lower lash line. I just love putting a darker color on my lower lash line. I just feel like it just makes the look complete. So then I'm just going to go around and just blend the little zit out. So we're good to go on that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do a little bit of powder on top of my blush so it lasts really long. And I'm going to go on with one of these because these are my obsessions, the Kiss of Rose shade or the Kiss of Pink. I might go Kiss of Rose today. And this is so pretty. I love this. This is from Bare Minerals, and this is their Gen Nude bronzer blush kind of duo thing. And I love them. They're so good. I have 3 shades total. My most used is Kiss of Pink, then Kiss of Rose, then Kiss of Copper. Kiss of Copper is gorgeous, but that's definitely more of a summer shade for me. And this is just, look how beautiful. It's so good. So I'm going to take this brush here, and we're going to dip in to this, and then immediately do this because she's pigmented. And then we're just going to lightly kind of set the blush with this powder, and I just love the combination of the two together. I just love that. It's so good. So then I'm going to take this side of the brush and just go around the edges slightly just so that there's no harsh line. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set my T-zone a little bit with powder and my under eyes with powder, just a little bit, not a lot. I'm going to actually use this one today instead of the Ami Collet because I still ride or die for that, but I use that one a lot on camera, and I want to use this. So this is from Westman Atelier, and this is their translucent shade in their powder. And I'm going to take very little and just kind of dab it where I need. Not a lot, just a little bit. All right, we are all set. I did a little bit of powder on my lids too. Now we're going to move on to the rest of the eye. So I kind of have been loving a bunch of different products in general, but I really like to do a little bit of a wing at times. So that's what we're going to do today. And I think I'm going to grab this eyeliner and do that with this, the Tower 28 eyeliner. I have a bunch of great eyeliners. The Kulfi eyeliner is great. I love the Victoria Beckham eyeliner. There's a bunch of great eyeliners, but we're going to do this one today because I love this shade. This is in the shade Draw Me, and it is so beautiful. So this is the lip liner, multi-liner from Tower 28. I really like this, and this lasts really, really long. So we're going to do a little bit of a wing, nothing too crazy. All right, love that. Love a little wing. Sometimes I go darker, sometimes I go heavier. It really depends on my mood, but sometimes the wing really can make a difference. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to set our face before we do mascara and the rest of the makeup. So we're going to go on with my trusty dusty, my handy dandy LYS Beauty Setting Spray. I like to shake her and now we're going to dry it quickly with a hand fan. So then next I want to apply a little bit more of the Westman Atelier, even though I have plenty. I'm just feeling like I want more highlighter, so that's what we're going to do. And then I'm also going to take a little bit and put it in my inner corner. Love what that does. So the next we're going to curl our lashes, and I'm going to go with my favorite lash curler, the Shiseido one. For mascara right now, my obsession is one of these two. So I have the Jones Road Beauty Mascara, no one's shocked by that, and then the newer Victoria Beckham Beauty Mascara. Now, this is a beautiful mascara and I love this. This is a little bit less voluminous and intense as the Jones Road Beauty one. So it kind of depends on the day. If I want something a little bit more minimal, I'll go Victoria Beckham Beauty. If I want something that's also a little bit more tubing style, and with the way that it removes and is easier to remove, I would go with the Victoria Beckham Beauty one just because you can remove this with water. I will say this one is harder to remove than the original Victoria Beckham Beauty mascara. That's something I will say. I find it a little bit more challenging where it just doesn't melt off quite as easily, but it still melts off easily. It's just a little bit more difficult. And the Jones Road Beauty one, I usually need to remove with like a micellar water or something like that. But I love both of these. And I think I'm going to do a combo of the two. So I'm going to go on with the Victoria Beckham Beauty Mascara first. This one I need to clean the wand off. I feel like when I don't, when I apply a bunch of layers, it can get a little bit clumpy. Not in a bad way, but just in a way where, it's clumpy. So I'm just going to do one coat of this. So then I'm going to go on with the Jones Road Beauty Mascara, and the reason I'm going on with this one second is the bristles are a little bit more separating than the Victoria Beckham one, so I will avoid extra clumping that is not necessary. I just love what mascara does for a look. It really pulls it all together, but I love the lashes. On this side, I am missing a few lashes, so when I look up and you're like, girl, there's a gap. Yeah, I know. I'm waiting for it to grow back because I ended up accidentally pulling out a couple lashes. You hate to see it, but this is what they look like together. They look beautiful together. They look beautiful separate. I'm a really big fan, and I actually was surprised with how much I like the, mascara all over this. I really was surprised with how much I liked the Victoria Beckham Beauty one, just because the first one I did really enjoy. It was just so much more minimal, and I prefer something less minimal lash-wise. So I was surprised that even that I would be liking this, just because, again, the other one was more minimal, but this is meant to be more volumizing than that one. So there you go, folks. So then next we're moving on to lips. Now for lips for every day, I like a nice tint and a blurred out kind of lip. Now I have a bunch of options. I have lip liners that I like to wear, and right now I'm loving the Jones Road Beauty lip liners, and I have two shades. I actually have backups of these. The Cognac and Rosewood, I believe. Is it Rosewood? Okay, yeah, Rosewood and Cognac are my obsessions, and I have backups of both of these. Then I have Victoria Beckham Beauty lip liner in the shade 04. And then I have this from Rowan Beauty, their liquid lip balm in the shade Charlie. This is my most repurchased. I have a bunch of shades, but this is my most repurchased everyday shade. Then I have the Merit Beauty lipsticks, and specifically the shade 1999, which is it 1999? No, 1990, girl, get it together. This is so good, a perfect brown everyday tone, and it's super hydrating. The key to success for me for every day, hydration. And then this from Summer Fridays. Now I own the full size of this, but I love the mini, it's so cute. And this is in the shade Brown Sugar. This shade specifically, I mean, I have a bunch of shades. I also have the shade Vanilla Beige, I have the red shade, I have the pink shade, but this one is by far my most everyday, most used shade, Brown Sugar. And then I have a tinted lip balm from the brand Flight Point 70. This is so good. They actually sent me this, and this quickly became, I did a full review on this where I tried it on and everything in my last video. There are so many good products in my last video that I actually I can't believe it. So good. This is such a good product. It's so hydrating. The shade I have in this is, I believe, the shade Rome. Why is font so small? Yeah, Rome. It is so good. I'm obsessed with this. It doesn't cling to anything. It hydrates. It makes your lips look really youthful and hydrated without looking overly glossy. I don't know how to explain it. And this shade Rome is so good. I also have their lip liner. I love their lip liner. Their lip liners are so good, but this one for me is the standout of their products. I'm really excited to try. I'm going to grab more of their products, but I'm love this. It's really good. And this looks great with a lip liner, all of that. So I'm not really sure. I think I'll do a little bit of a lip liner. I'll go on with this one. This is the shade Cognac. But a lot of the time I'll just slap on a tinted lip balm like the Summer Fridays. I'm going to do a little bit of the shade Cognac. I love this. It's so good. It's such a good lip liner shade, you guys. I only have it around the edges because I don't want to have too much lip liner on. And then I'm going to go on with this shade again, Rome. And look how pretty this is. It's so good. I might do another thing on top too, because why not? We're here anyways. It is so good, you guys. Look at that. Look how healthy it makes my lips look. Look at the sheen. It has like a nice gloss, but it's a very healthy looking gloss and not that super glossy, like shiny glosses aren't healthy looking, but this just looks very natural, but plumped up, even though, I don't know. I'm obsessed with this. And in the monitor, this does look more red or a little bit more warm than it does in person. In person, it's more neutral, but I'm obsessed with this. It is so freaking good, so comfortable, so hydrating. So then, while we're here, I think I'm going to do a little bit of the Summer Fridays on top, because why not? Why the heck not? I'm going to just do a little bit. Love this. It's so good. It's so comfortable. I love the scent. I love the shade. Wearing it alone, it's gorgeous. I don't know. These two specifically, wearing these alone separate is amazing. Also the shade Charlie from the Rowan. However, this is more of a pinky tone, whereas these are a little bit more browny, reddy kind of tones. I love all of these. They're just they're the best. And that's the thing. I like stuff that's easy to wear, where I don't have to think about if color is going all over the place. That's why the Merit Beauty lipsticks are amazing. Anyways, yeah, that is my full face of my current kind of makeup routine. I would love to know, what do you think? What are your thoughts down below? Let me know what you think. And if you have any other tinted lip balms that kind of remind you of that formula when you saw me apply it, please let me know down below, because I have tried, I feel like, most tinted lip balms, and I just, nothing kind of gives me that. And I'm really intrigued now that I have fallen in love with this formula. I'm really intrigued what else is out there. And yeah, that's it for this video. That is it for my current makeup routine. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.